Good evening. What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Madonna Hawks, and I was born at St. Luke's Hospital in New Bern, North Carolina.
How many siblings do you have?
I have one sibling, Beth Edwards. We are 22 years apart.
Where did you grow up through your teenage years?
I grew up right in New Bern, North Carolina, or actually a little town called Askins, which is outside of New Bern.
What high school did you go to?
I went to West Craven High School in Vanceboro, North Carolina.
What year did you graduate from high school?
I graduated in 1978.
What was your first job?
My very first job was working in tobacco when I was 13, if that qualifies as a job. I did that every summer for 4 years.
What was your first car?
My first car was a lemon yellow Camaro, and I loved it.
Did you have any opportunities for your career before you got pregnant?
Oh, many opportunities. I was actually in my career and married 10 years before I got pregnant.
If so, what were those opportunities you had?
My opportunities were to advance. I started as receptionist at Craven County Hospital and worked myself through various jobs, still there. I've moved from receptionist up to administration, where I'm now a paralegal for the hospital attorney.
Did you turn down any careers in order to work locally and raise your family?
Um, I didn't go to college. I guess that's not a career, but I did turn down college because I had a job opportunity, plus I wanted to get married. Not necessarily start a family, but get married.
How did pregnancy affect your work life and personal life?
Pregnancy was a big change for me because I had always been out in the workforce, around public, being married 10 years before I got pregnant, just independence, and pregnancy changed all that.
When was the first time you worked at Craven County Hospital?
I graduated in June of 1978 and started at the hospital in August of 1978.
Looking back at it, would you change anything if you could?
Um, no, I wouldn't change having my boys for anything. Wouldn't change all of the different careers that I've had at the hospital. I can't think of anything I would have changed.
If you had any advice for young mothers in this situation, what would you tell them?
I would probably tell them to go to college, get a degree, because in today's society, it's so much more important than it even was when I graduated high school. Now it's hard to get a position of any kind without some sort of high school diploma or some college background. And get yourself established before you do get pregnant and start a family. Get yourself established in your career and even in a marriage, because pregnancy does change everything.
How did you feel about your career after having your second child? Did it change anything?
It made it a little more difficult, coming home at the end of the day and having so much more to do. A lot of times I would have to bring my work home with me, and taking care of two little ones did affect that in some means. Also, during the day, doctor's visits, school, parties, having to leave work. Um, Not necessarily negatively, but it did affect my career.
How did it first feel knowing you were going to be a grandmother?
It was a shock to start with because I wasn't expecting it, but um, knowing that she came along just several weeks after my mom passed away, it was a wonderful feeling. I call her my little circle of life. because when I buried my mom, she came along and sort of took away some of the sadness that came from her death.
What has changed from being a mother to becoming a grandmother?
Oh, a lot. I'm much more lenient with the grandbaby. Both of my sons would probably say the same thing. Was a lot of OCD raising my children. Drove myself crazy, keeping everything picked up, put away. And now with my granddaughter, it's just like, just you turn a blind eye to it until she goes home, and she's pretty much got me wrapped and gets away with whatever she wants to.
How long have you worked at the local hospital?
37 years.
Are there any other jobs you're working at right now?
Oh, yes. I'm working at a boutique downtown part-time. I work at Spunky McDougal's, a little restaurant, as a hostess there. I work at the local Harley-Davidson dealership, just part-time when they have special functions like a bike ride or open house or something of that nature.
Anything about your past, whether it is your career, your pregnancy, or anything else that you would have changed for a better result than now?
I can't think of anything that I would change. I have gone through a lot of changes, some negatively, but if I would have changed any of them, I wouldn't have what I have today. I believe everything happens for a reason, so I don't believe in looking back with regret of any kind.
Would you say there was anything else from being a mother to a grandmother? Would you say that anything else has changed for you?
Other than me appreciating the time together more, I regret with my own kids being so focused on the job that had to be done, the house that had to be cleaned, instead of sitting down, reading a book, playing with the Barbies. More quality time. I regret that I didn't do that with my own kids, and now I struggle to make sure that it happens with my granddaughter. And don't stop to wash the dishes or clean the house. Wait until she's gone home, and just enjoy my time with her.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.